Hello, hi, good evening. We are from Group 5. Today we'll be presenting about MRP Part 2. Myself is Visheshanan, GS64216. My teammate Sarveshwaran, GS66856. So I'm passing the floor to Sarveshwaran first.
Okay, I'll start this presentation with the main key points. So here we listed some of the key points. This is the very important terms in this material requirement planning. So the first term, the lead time. This is a very important where we will like almost look through most of the times. So what is the lead time? Uh, the lead time is the time between the initiation and completion of a production process. Lead time is basically like how much the time they need to complete a product or an item. Sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes 1 week. So this will be later explained further. So next is gross requirement. Gross requirement is like how much we need the total to fulfill the total demand during a specific time period. Maybe at week 4 we have some demand, week 7 at other demand. Sometimes all the week we have a constant demand. So this is called as a gross requirement. We need that to fulfill the demand. Next is scheduled receipts. So scheduled receipt is a customer's order or open orders where deliveries are scheduled at a future date. So they will deliver us at a future date. So maybe like on week 8 or week 10, something like that. Examples. So on and materials. This one is the quantity we have in our hand, basically in our companies like warehouse, or basically we in simpler term we can call it as a stock. So that we have in our hand. Next is net requirement. So the net requirement is basically the quantity requiring actual logistic after allocating the required quantity of item to inventory and release orders. In formula, we will have like this: net requirement is equal to gross requirement minus the quantity in house, which is on hand quantity. So we'll get the amount of net requirement. After that, we have plan order receipt and plan order release. So there are two terms. Plan order release is the process in which the order is only planned but not delivered. So we make a plan on specific week, that is plan order receipt. It keeps on changing per the demand. It is known as a future projected receipt that is based on plan order. So schedule order receipt is the process in which goods are received at a certain times. So that is the schedule when we will receive the product, when we will have the product on our hands. So next will be further elaborated by Mr. Vishwesh.
Thank you, Sarvesh. Moving forward, we'll go in depth of lead time. So now we'll look into example of lead time. So using this following product tree, determine the planned order receipts and planned order releases if 200 A's are to be produced in week 5. So repeat again, there's 200 A's are to be produced in week 5. So all lead time are 1 week except for component E, which has lead time of 2 weeks. So you can see over here, this is the product tree. We have A, we have A as a parent, we have B as a parent. So the child will be B and C. So under the root of A, we have B and C, and B we have D and E. So over here they've mentioned that they have already have a planned order release for 200 A's over here, which has to be produced in week 5. But the lead time for all the items are 1 week except for component E, which will take 2 weeks time. In elaborated way, we can see over here in this table, we have parts over here. We have part A, part B, part C, part D, until part E. So over here we have planned order receipt and planned order release. The reason is because we wanted to do this is because we wanted to, for example, we mentioned that in part A we need to have 200 units of in week 5 itself, and we need to place an order a week ahead because our lead time is 1 week. So you need to place 1 week ahead. So the order will be released in week 4 itself. So you will receive your unit in 200 units in week 5. Same goes to part B, part C, part D. It's all in 1 week lead time. So it need to be ordered in before the item is released. For example, B over here, you can see we need to have 200 because A is under B as well. So if under B, we need to have an order in week. We need to get a unit in week 4, and part C also need to get it in week 4 because it's corresponds to A. So B and C corresponds to together with A. So B and C is corresponds to A. So you need to place an order 1 week ahead. Same goes to sorry. Same goes to B. B you can see is D and E. But for E, it's a 2 week apart of lead time. So you can see over here it's 200 and the gap is over here is 200 over here. So you need to order in ahead of getting your principles to be done. So this is your lead time example. Let's dive into question. Question 1. Given the following product tree explode, offset, and determine the gross and net requirements. All lead times are 1 week, and the quantities required are shown in parentheses. The master production schedule calls for 100 A's to be available in week 5. There are 20 B's available, and on hand balances are 0. So below we can see there's a product tree. It's just you can see the main parent is A. So subordinates we have B2 and C1. So it means that you to achieve your A, you need to have two B's and one C. So meanwhile, you can see this B and C also have a sub parent over here. This being a sub parent. So under B, you have you need to have B. You need to have D1 and E1. So you can make your B1. If you see the C, you need to have two D's and one F to obtain your C. Okay. So now the first step you need to do is doing MPS. MPS which is master production schedule. So according to the question above, they mentioned that you need to have 100 A's in week 5 itself. So week 5 you have 100 units. The quantity is 5. Week 5 you can see that that's 100 units down there. Okay, this is for your MPS for schedule A. So let's go into the in more depth. Part A, you can see the lead time is 1 week. So as I mentioned before, you need to have your units in week 5 in your hand. So the gross requirement is 100 over here. So you have 100. So you over here they mentioned that your lead time is 1 week, one week prior. So you need to order your units in 1 week before that. So minimum, we can check over here. You get all these units are 0 because you don't have any units in your hand right now. So all will be 0. So you have to place your order before your 5th week, and you will receive in 5th week, which requires your net requirements and your place this order will be 100 as well. Okay, but meanwhile, they have mentioned that in part B you have 20 B's in your hand. So your projected available is 20. So from 1, 2, 3 weeks will be continuing until 20. But you see over here, you have 1A to achieve 2B's, which is you have to need 200 units on your hand. Okay, so over here you can see 20 units are available. So you need to have 180 units extra in your hand to get achieve 200 units. So 80 plus 20 is 100. So you achieve 200 over this section of week 4 itself. So because it needs to be correspond to your part A. Same goes to C as well. So C over here they mentioned that A is equals to 1C. C is corresponds to 1 or to achieve A you need corresponds to 1C, which is A is 100, so it drops down to same unit of 100 to below as well 100. So you need to order 1 week prior because lead time is 1 week prior. So you order your 1 week in 100 for that because your projected availables are 0. Same goes to D. Okay, D has a special case over here. You see over here, D is in two places. You have D in B, and also you have D in C as well. So you can see, okay, D is one is made of two B's. So if you have two B's, so how many D's do you need to have? So you need to have two D's, right? So same goes to C. You have two Ds in your hand under your C itself. So in total you have four Cs. The four Cs is equivalent to 380 gross requirement. How do you get 380? Because you calculate into your B and C over here. You already have your 20 units, so you have to include your 180 units and also your part C as well. So you get 380 units. And you need to order 1 week prior because it is you have lead time is 1 week prior. Same goes to part E because your part E is equivalent to 1. So 1B needs to make 2. So E 180, 180, and you see the gross requirement is 180. So you need to order 1 week prior, which is 180 as well. So F is just 1 because C is just 1. C is just now you saw is 100 only over here. So you need to order another 100 for your F so that you get in week 2. So you need to order. You need to remember the lead time. Lead time is 1 week prior, so you need to order before that you can achieve your unit in week 5 itself. Okay, moving forward, you can go to question number 2. Questions is given the following product tree. Develop a material requirement plan that for the components. Quantities are shown in parentheses. The following worksheet shows the present activity orders, the available balance, and the lead time. Okay, it is quite a complicated product tree, is it? But we can derive into it much more easier way. We have A. A is a parent. We have the correspondence of B and two C's. Meanwhile, we can see there's an F. There's a new parent over here, F. But F is corresponds to C and two D's. C is corresponds to D and not E. So, but we can see this the scenario of C is repeated in F and A as well. Okay, so for now we need to use. We saw there's three parents over there, so we need to have three perfect different NPS for each and every units. So for the first, we have A. So A, they mentioned that in week 3 you have 60. In week 5 you need to have 70. In F we have for week 4 we have 100. In C you see there's 100 and 140 in week 3 and week 4 respectively. Okay, without wasting our time, let's move forward to the table. In part A, you can see this part A over here in the side here. This is the parts over here. We have A, F, and B. So the lead time is 1 week and lot to lot. Lot to lot means it's a unit per unit. So that is what we call as lot to lot. Okay, so we have mentioned that previously in first slide, the second slide, that's week 3 is called, so you need to have 60 units and week 5 you need 70 units. And it's 1 week lead time. So as you understand previously, you need to have an order 1 week prior. So you have 60. You need to get your 60 units weekly. So you need to order in week 2. You need to have 70 units in week 5. So you need to order in week 4 itself. So part F is also lot to lot as well, but it is a different parent over here. It's a different unit. So we need to get in your week 4. At week 4, they mentioned 100 units. So you need to get your 100 units in week 4. So you need to order in week 3 itself. Okay, next one is B. You see the lead time is 2 weeks. So it means that you need to order 2 weeks prior before you're getting your units. So lot size is 300. So lot size is 300 means is because each order you need to order by 300 by 300. So instead you're getting two sets will be 300 and 300, so it will be 600. That is how you calculate your lot size. But over here they have informed you they provided 200 units your part B itself. So part B, where is part B is under parent A. Okay, now you have 200 units in your hand. So over here, you see that your part A is 60, so you need to reach 60 units. It corresponds down there immediately 60, 60, 70, 70. Because it is your parenthesis. Your parenthesis is your A and drops down to B. So 200 minus 60 is 140. So the 140 is carried forward to week 3. And 70 units are needed in week 4 itself. So you 70, 140 minus 70 is equal to 70, and 70 is carried forward to week 5 itself because you need to order your units because it's still available and still much more sufficient enough for your orders. Next is part C. Where do you see part C? Part C you see in your A and your F. which is mean you need to have two C's and one C, which is under A and F. Okay. So you know that our A is over here 60 and 70, right? 60 and 70. So because it is times 2, so you need times 2, 120, you get 120 over here and 140. And 100 units is being repeated over here because you just need 100 units for your F. So as the mentioned over here, the lead time is 2 weeks apart, but lot means unit by unit. 2 weeks apart, you need to order early itself. To 120 units, you can't expect it to get by as soon as possible. You need to assume that it's been ordered early itself. But you see here, your 100 units over here and 140 units over here. So you need to carry forward this 100 units and 140 because your lead time is 2 weeks apart. Same goes to part D. Where is part D? Part D is under F. F, you need two Ds, and you C, you need one D. Okay, you need to understand this over here. You see, you need to have two C's. If you have two C's, means you have to need to have two D's as well. So in total, you have four D's. I hope you get the clearer picture. So you need to have four D's. Okay, it is much more complicated because you need to calculate you need to correspond with your A because so your F and also your C. F is it's the two D's. Remember where your F is? Your F is in victory. So victory is over here. Okay, so you need to correspond to this, including to your unit over here. Same goes to your C. Where does your C stops in? Your C stops in 100 and 140. 100 and 140. So it corresponds together. But you need to know that the projected availables is 300 units. They already placed an order for 300 units available at the hand. So what do you need to do over here? You just need to minus them. You need 100 units. So 100 units minus 300 minus 100, you get 200. So you just remain 200 over here. Then over here you need 140 over here. 140 units is being repeated over here. So 200 by 140, you get 60 units. So 60 units is carried forward to your over here. And you need to place an order again because you need to get your units get to be done. Because you have ordered earlier to 300, so you need to order your 300 units in week 1 itself. So that's how it works. Okay, now we go to part E. Part E is lead time is 3 weeks. Wow, it's much more bigger, and we have lot size of 500. It's a very huge unit, but you can check over here how many E's do we have. We only have E's in C itself. Okay, so they have informed that our projected available is 200 units in our hand. We have 200 units in our hand. So we have to correspond your C with your E. Okay, now we go to C. We have ordered 100 units in week 1 and 140 units in week 2. You have units, 400 units on your hand itself. So you just minus 400 minus 100, you get 300. You got to write down 300 over here. 300 minus 140, you get 160, 160 units. So the 160 units you're not using back again. There's no more usage of yeast over there. So you just repeat it 160, 160, 160 in your following X because your itineraries are still available there. So the answer is the low code is for part D is 2. So there are planned order for 300 in part D in week 1. There are no planned order in part E. There are planned order in release of 100 for part C in week 1 and 140 in week 2. As I explained, you need to understand the lot size, you need to understand the lead time, and also you need to understand the how does it corresponds to each other. And that you can excel well. Okay, thank you very much. I will pass the floor to Sarveshwar.
Okay. Thanks for the good explanation from Vishwesh. Now I'll continue with another few examples. So the next example, assume that you are the manager of a shop that assembles power tools. You have just received an order of 50 chainsaws which are to be shipped at the start of week 8. So we have an order on week 8. We need to produce 50 saws. So the pertinent information on the source follow. So we have chainsaw, which is the parent. So then we have these breakdowns of the childrens of the saw. So here they give the lead time, which is for saw 2 weeks, for A 1 week, B 2 weeks, and we have this on end. So which is this is the stock we have in our warehouse or companies or all that. Then we have the childrens of the parents, so the components basically. So here we can see the saw have components of 2A 1B 4C. So A F the 3E 1D. So this will understand, we will understand more on next slide where I show the product 3. So the question, develop the material requirement for component E using lot to lot ordering for all items. So this is the important point, lot to lot ordering. So this means we need to order the unit for unit. Okay. The first step we need to do is our product tree. So here we can see uh, we have the saw. So it has 3 children. For one saw, you need 2A, 1B, 4C. For 1A, we need 3 E's, 1D. For 1B, we need 2D, 3F. For 1C, we need 2E, 2D. So this is the something we need to give more focus, where we can see the E, there are branches in two different family, in C family and A family. Same goes for D. D have a in 3 families, A family, B family, C family. Okay, this is gonna be fun. Okay, the next step is the master production schedule for chainsaw. So this is the important. As the question said, they need 50 chainsaw on week 8. So this is our master production schedule. So this is the place where we need to start. So we will go backwards. That's called the MRP. So this is the quantity on week 8. So we will see the MRP table for chainsaw. We'll start from the parents always. That's the rule. Okay. On week 8, we need 50. The schedule receipt, we don't have anything, 0. And we have projected on an 15. Projected on an 15. The question gave this info. So we'll have the 15 until week 8, where we will minus the 50 with 15. So utilize the stock first. So we need another 35 to fulfill this criteria. I mean this quantity. So that is net requirement. We need 35 on week 8. So what is the lead time for the chainsaw? So the lead time here, we can see for chainsaw is 2 weeks. So we need to order the chainsaw 2 weeks earlier, which is week 6, because of the lead time. So we will receive the product on week 8. So that is the lead time purpose. So next, once we have the chainsaw, next we'll go the first children, item A. Okay, item A, why we need in week 6, not week 8? Because here we need the 35 of chainsaw on week 6. That's why we start item A on week 6. And why 70? Because here we only need 35. Why 70? Because for one saw, we need 2 A's. So this one is basically 2 times 35. That is 70. Sorry about my 5. So that is 70. And that's how we get the 70. So the projected on hand, as they gave on the table, we have 10. So the 10 we bring here until here. So gross requirement 70. We minus the our stock 10. So we need another 60. For the 60, we order on week 5 because the lead time for product A is 1 week. That's why here we order on week 5. So next we go to for the item B. Same goes, why we order on week 6? Because we need the chainsaw 35 on week 6. So as we can see, for B, one chainsaw, we need only one B. That's why we have 35, where we need 35 on week 6 of chainsaw. So here also 35, and we have the stock 5. So 35 minus 5, we got another, we need another 30. So the 30 we will order, the 30 we will order 2 weeks earlier because of the lead time 2 weeks. The lead time of 2 weeks. So next, we'll go to item C. Item C, we need 140 on week 6 because of the 35 for chainsaw. So one chainsaw equal to 4C. So here basically they did 35 times 4 because one chainsaw need 4C. That's how we get the 140. So the 140 we minus our stock 65. We need another 75. So the 75 we planned 2 weeks earlier because of the lead time of C is 2 week. Okay. So next, here comes the fun part. On week 4, the D we need 210. So first we need to see where this D are associated with. So for D, here for 1A we need 1D. For 1B we need 2D. For 1C we need 2D. So for D, on week 4, what are the products we need on week 4? Item C we need 75. Item B we need 30. So these are the items we need on week 4. So item D here is 30B plus 75C. So that's how we get this 210. So the B is basically for 1B we need 2D. So that's how we get 60. For 1C we need 2D also. So that's how we get 150. So 60 plus 150 is 210. On week 5, 60. So what we need on week 5 is item A. Item A is basically 1D, one item A. So that's how we get this 60. So now we have stock 20. So 210 minus 20, we need another 190 to fulfill the stock. So basically this 190 we'll order 1 week earlier because of the lead time. So same goes here. We don't have the projected on end here because we have used it earlier on week 4. So here 0. So 60 minus 0, we need another 60 to fulfill this demand. So here 1 week earlier because of the lead time. So this is the for item D. So next we go for item E. So item E on week 4 we need 100 for 150. Okay, let's see item E associated with 1C need 2D, 1C need 2E, and 1A need 3E. So A and C. So A and C. So C we need 75 on week 4. C we need 75 on week 4. A we need 60 on week 5. So basically this one 60 times 3, this one 75 times 2, because we need uh, 2E for 1C. So 75, uh, here we need 75C, so times 2. That's how we get the 150 on week 4. And here A, we need 60A, so 180, because 60A needs 3C, 3E, 60, 3E. On A need 3E, so 60 times 3, we get 180. So this 150 minus our stock 10, 140. So 140, we need to order 1 week earlier of because of the lead time. Because of the lead time. So next, here we don't have project on hand because this one the stock we utilize in period 4 already. So this 180 we need to fulfill. So we need net requirement 180 1 week earlier also because of the lead time. This is how we do E. Okay. Now everyone might ask why we never do for the function for F, because the question asks develop the material requirements plan for component E. So as we can see from the product tree, component E does not associated with component F. So it's like not dependent. So we no need to do for F. So this is the basically lot for lot. So what we can see from lot for lot is when we need 35, we order 35. When we need 60, we order 60. When we need 30, we order 30. When we need 75, we order 75. When we need these quantities, we just order. So they don't have like a specific size or requirement for you to make an order. So you basically can order whatever quantity you want. That is called as lot for lot. So this is another question. So 80 units of an item are needed. 80 units beginning of week 6, and 30 units are needed beginning of week 8. So prepare material requirement plan for component D. D can only be ordered in whole cases, 50 units per case. So this 50 units per case, that means this is a lot size method. So they have a specific requirement. So where you can only order on 50, 100, 150, 200, something like that. So one case of F, one case of D is automatically received every other week, beginning in week 1, 3, 5, 7. So lot for lot ordering will be used for all items except D. Also, there are 30 units of B and 20 units of D now on hand. Lead times for all items are function of quantity. 1 week for up to 100 units. So this, if below 100, it's lead time 1 week. In this range, 2 weeks. In this range, 3 weeks. And this range, 4 weeks. So as the first step, we need to do the product 3. So X, 1X, we need 2B, 3D, and For 1B, we need 2D, 2F. So our production schedule, they say 80 on week 6, 30 on week 8. 80 on week 6, 30 on week 8. So as usual, we will start off with the parents. So item X, 80 on week 6, 30 on week 8. So we don't have the stock, no projected on hand, zero. So the net requirement is 80. This 80, the range is below 100. So the lead time should be 1 week. And this 30, we get from like the net requirement because no don't have stock. Also lead time 1 week because of the quantity below 100. So next we will go to the next breakdown, item B. So item B, here we can see on week 5 they need 80. So item B is basically for 1x we need 2b. So let's say they need 80 here, here should be 160. So that's how we get here 30 they need in week 7, so here 60. So item B we have stock 30, so 160 minus 30 we need another 130 to fulfill the demand. So 130. Why this is 2 weeks lead time? Because it in the range between 101 to 200, that's why 2 weeks. And after that, here we don't have projected on hand because we have utilized it on week period 5. So 60, this 60, the net requirement, we make lead time 1 week because the range is below 100. So as the requirement fulfilled, we make it 1 week lead time. So this is a lot size method. So this is for lot method. Sorry, my bad. So this is the lot size method. As they mentioned earlier, for item D, they have a specific requirement. So the beginning inventory, we have 20. Okay. So on week 3, we need 260. And week 5, 240. Week 6, 120. Week 7, 90. So week 3 and 5, we get from item B. So item B, for one item B, we need 2D. For one item B, we need 2D. So here 130, we need 2D. So 130 times 2, we get 260. So here 60, we'll get on week 6, 120. So that's how we get this 120 product of B. And for X, 80 on week 7, 30. So for X, we need PD. So let's say on week 5, we need 80. So the week 5 should be 80 that's how we get this 240, and here 30 times 3, so that's how we get 90. This is for product X directly. So the schedule receipt, as they mentioned earlier, on week 1, week 3, week 5, week 7 will receive 50, 50, 50, 50 automatically. So we have stock 20. So 20 we will receive 50 on period 1, here 70. So 70, here we will receive on period 3. So total 120. 260 minus 120 equal to 140. So 140, the nearest to 140 is 150. Why 150? We cannot order 140 because this is lot size method. So we only can order 50, 100, 150. So 150, the lead time is 2 weeks because it's in the range between 101 to 200. That's how we get the lead time. So for 150, we will give 140. We have another 10 balance. It will go here. So 10, we will receive another 50 here. So we will receive another 50, then become 60. So 60 and goes here and 60. So 240 minus 60, we will have 180. 180, the closest is 200 because lot size method, and 200 is still 2 week range because 101 to 200 is 2 week range lead time. That's why 2 week lead time we use. And next is we will go here. So here 0 schedule receipt because it's receive only week 5 and 7. So here 0. We have 20 balance because this one 200, we ordered 200 just now, we only need 180, the 20 balance. So 120 minus 20, we need another 100 net requirement. So 100, 1 week lead time because the range is around 100, that is the requirement. And 100 fulfill 100, we don't have projected on hand, but we will receive schedule receipt 50 here. So 90 minus 50, we'll get another 40 here. To fulfill the net requirement 40, the lot size we can order is 50, the nearest. So 50 minus 40, the 10 balance will go here, which will become projected on hand for next inventory material requirement planning. So the lot lead time is 1 week because below 100. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you. Hopefully you all understand, and sorry for my bad handwriting. Thanks. That's all from me.